now going to talk a little bit about making some leaves. Sometimes it's fun to have a little bit of extra greenery to add into your bouquet, sometimes to add onto a flower. Here's one here where I've added some leaves right onto the stem of the flower. Here's another one I've done where I've just taken the wire and put some leaves all along that. And that's another way to do it. So I thought I'd just talk about how I've been making the leaves and then how you can attach them to the wire. So here's some different shapes, and of course leaves can be all different kinds of shapes and sizes. The ones here were kind of small. These are a little bit bigger ones, like this. And you can make them different. They don't have to be all long and narrow. You can make all different kinds of leaf shapes. So they are wet felted, and you want to do it very similar to what we did when we did the circle shapes to make the flowers. And I just pull off little pieces of the roving, and I'm going to do like a couple of layers. So I just lay it down like that. We'll make a few here, and then you can make several of your own if you'd like, and we'll talk about how to attach them then. So I just lay them down like that to start with, like that. Just a couple layers like that, and then we'll go to the kitchen and we'll do a little bit of more wet felting. So I'll meet up with you there in just a few minutes. Now we're going to make these little leaves. So we've laid a couple of pieces of roving on top of each other, and they're about 4 inches long or so. And now we're going to take the soapy water from the spray bottle and get it all good and wet. And remember, the bubble side of the wrap is up, because we need that texture to help with the felting. And sometimes it helps at this point just to kind of pull out, if you like, the leaves with the little points like I do. That's kind of how I do it, like that, to start with. And then we're going to lay the other piece of bubble wrap over the top. And as you remember, when we started the piece for our flowers, this is going to be exactly the same. We're going to roll this 30 times. So you want to count 30 times, 30 or 40 times, and roll it back and forth, and roll it back and forth. And then we're going to unroll it and turn it 1/4 of a turn. And we're going to do 30 more times. And you're going to do this 4 times. So, rock and roll here 30 times, and unroll it, turn it 1/4 turn, 3/4, again, 30 times, rock and roll 30 times, unroll it one more time. Now, when you've gotten that far, and you've gone around all 4 times, and done all your rock and rolling, then you open it back up. Now let's take a look at it. And this is a place where you can do a little bit more shaping if you want. You remember on the flowers we did that at this point. After we went around the first 4 turns, doing 30 rolls at each turn, then we opened it up and we did a little shaping. And you can do the same thing with these leaves. Do the same way. Then we're going to lay this back on. We're going to do the same thing. 30 more rolls on all 4 sides. And then when we come back here, we'll do the last few steps to get our leaves going. Now I finished rolling it 4 times around twice. And I'm going to pick up the leaves, and I'm going to This is just going to roll them around in my hand here, squeeze them in my hands, and get some more felting going here. So hot, really hot water, and squeeze it in your hand. Again, count to about 30 or 40. Now you want to be careful because it at this point can felt to itself. So if you're not real careful and not paying attention, the leaves can all felt to themselves. But I pull them apart a little bit there, and then I'm going to again go to the rubbing and rolling in my hands. Now I'm going to, again, like we did with the flower shapes, throw it down in the sink a little bit. And jar it a little bit like that. And again, I'm going to roll it around in my hands a little bit. And I can start to see that it's starting to shrink up and felt. It's starting to get all kind of, you can see how different it looks just in those few minutes. So now I'm going to rinse it out. And as soon as it's rinsed, I'll meet you right back here and we'll lay them out to dry. Now I've finished rinsing it out, and you can see how wrinkly and bunched up and felted they are. And now what I'm going to do is just kind of stretch them out here with my fingers. And I like to leave those the little long ends. I kind of like that. And same here. Unfortunately, I got the same color as my towel here. Hopefully it's not too hard to see. But you can see, I think, what I'm doing here. And stretch out your leaves and get a shape going that you like. I think it's fun to have the little curly ends. Gives a little interesting texture to the project. So about like that. And then you can just roll it up in a little towel. Get the extra water out of it and lay it out to dry, and then you can use it in your finished project. There we are. Now we have a few little leaves to work with. Okay, see you soon.